Hey everyone, I just wanted to come back and do an update. You guys are probably wondering where I have been. And I'm sorry this is done on my webcam. I was like, oh, I'm gonna film a vlog today. I'm gonna do it. I have the time. I'm feeling really good. The girls are napping, and then I realized that the batteries are dead and it takes them a while to charge. So it's on my webcam, so I don't think I'll be able to do a belly shot or anything like that today, but I just wanted to do an update. After I was visiting my mom for her being in the hospital, my daughter actually got really sick and she was in the hospital. And luckily and thankfully, everything's fine. She ended up being okay, and I'm just so glad that's over with. It was my youngest, her name's Mossy. It was the saddest thing I've ever seen. We ended up being there for 2 full days and a half day, but she's fine now, and I'm glad that that's just over and done with and she's doing a lot better. And then when we got home, I ended up getting so sick. On the way home, it's about a 8-hour drive, and we stopped to eat, and that was the last time that I had kept anything down for several days. Water, juice, nothing. So after day 7 hit, on day 8, I ended up going to the emergency room because I called my doctor and told them what was going on, and they were nervous that I was dehydrated. So I went in, and I had been having some pain under my right breast, like really sharp pain. It would only last from when I would be throwing up until after I was done, and then I was having really bad back pain. Well, it turns out that I have some gallstones and a couple problems with my gallbladder, so they're going to end up taking that out after the baby comes. So that's why I've been not vlogging or doing anything. I was really sick and couldn't clean the house. I know it sounds horrible and it's not an excuse, but I couldn't do anything. Today's the first day that I woke up and I was like, I feel really good today. This whole video is probably going to be TMI, so if you don't want to hear about pregnancy, all the gross goodness about it, then excuse me. Sorry. Then just stop watching. So today, I don't know if I just said this, but I will be 11 weeks in 2 days. I am 11 weeks in 2 days today. Sorry, the camera keeps shaking. And, I follow this webpage that I followed with each of my pregnancies, and I'm looking it up right now so I can find out what it's called. It's called Pregnology.com, and I'll put the link down below. And it basically just gives you the date of the current day, how many weeks and days you are, what trimester, and how many days you have to go. And I followed that with my oldest and with Mossy, and now with this one. And I look at it every day. I know that's crazy, but every single day I look at it. And I have 201 days to go if I go by the due date that I was given by my doctor at the 5-week, 4-day ultrasound. And the doctor that I saw at the hospital, she just did a quick ultrasound with one of the machines that they have there in the ER. It wasn't anything fancy, and the screen was literally maybe this big. And she's like, wow, that's a big baby for being, I can't remember how many weeks I was then, 10 weeks in some days. And she was like, that's a pretty big baby. Are you sure that's your due date? Did they do an ultrasound? And blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, they did. And so then when I went to follow up with my doctor that following day, she wasn't there, and I saw the nurse practitioner. And she was like, you're measuring kind of big, so I'm just going to assume that your due date's around the 24th of November to the 28th instead of December 4th, which, I mean, it's not really that big of a difference, but I'm still just going to go with December 4th, because when you get to the end, to think, oh, I'm past my due date is, so discouraging. So we'll see when I actually see my actual doctor, but from being sick and stuff, I lost, 13 pounds. Because before I was actually vomiting without being able to stop, I still had morning sickness, and I was just taking my medicine to help it, but eventually that stopped working. So that's what put me into puking all the time, was I couldn't even keep the medicine down, and it peaked around 2 to 4 in the afternoon is when it got really bad. It was horrible. And if you ever have had children before, and since I've had my oldest two kind of close together, I have like no control down there when I'm puking or sneezing, or even if I laugh, I'll like pee a little bit. Well, when I was like puking uncontrollably to the point where it was like splashing everywhere, I would just pee like a waterfall. Like I could not control it at all. It was horrible. So I'm in there cleaning up the puke and pee, which is making me puke even more because I'm smelling the puke. Ugh, it was just bad, and I'm glad it's not like that anymore. Usually around, well, with my oldest, it was about 17 weeks is when I felt like great, like back to my old self and able to just do anything I wanted whenever I wanted, not worry about smelling something weird or anything that would make me puke. And then it started again at around 29 weeks is when I started getting nauseous, but that was mainly from heartburn. But with Mossy, my second, once I would throw up, that would be it. I wouldn't be sick, I wouldn't feel sick. It was like it never happened, and I would just go on, and that lasted till about 12 weeks. So I'm hoping this one meets somewhere in the middle and I can be done feeling sick at all. Like I said today, I feel really, really good. So I'm hoping that that will last, knock on wood. As far as symptoms go, besides the puking and stuff, just the back pain from my gallbladder. And then, again, TMI, so if you don't want to know, don't keep watching. But my boobs aren't really sore unless, they accidentally get hit. Then they're, it's like, ow. But, I mean, they're not really, like, sore. I'm not walking around going, ooh, sore boobs. But my nipples have gotten darker. Like, a lot darker than they were. Which, that happened to me with the other two, but not until I was nursing. And with my oldest, I started leaking around 14 or 15 weeks. And with my second, to be honest, I don't remember if I leaked or not. I just remember with my first thinking, oh my gosh, what is this? Not really knowing much about breastfeeding or anything because I never had looked into it. So I don't really remember with my second if I leaked or when. I don't remember. Leg cramps, I get that every day almost, but it's tolerable. With my other two, at the end, they get pretty bad, like towards labor, like the very end. I get cramps in my legs when I have contractions. I have been having a little bit of cramping, mostly when I hold my urine, is when I get that cramping, which of course that's going to happen when you're pregnant and you hold your urine, which I know you shouldn't do. I haven't had any headaches really, which usually during pregnancy my headaches go away, which I mean I don't really have headaches like all the time, usually just around my period. And CM, I've had a lot of CM this past week, like shockingly. I don't know if I didn't notice before since I was like puking all the time that I wasn't concerned about it, but probably within the last 4 to 5 days, there's been a lot more. Trying to think what else. I have energy today, which is like awesome. I clean my house. Well, I play with the girls outside every day because I feel like if I'm outside, I feel better. If I'm not smelling like food cooking, because I cook a lot with my crock pot when I'm pregnant and in the summer. Well, actually, I take that back. I cook a lot with my crock pot when I'm pregnant and in the winter. But this summer, I've been cooking a lot with it. And in the beginning, when it still smells like fresh meat, when it's just sitting there heating up, like I can't stand it. It's disgusting. And it will make me puke my brains out. But if I stay outside, if I chew gum, which I'm doing now, so I'm sorry if that's like bugging you, because I know it would bug me. If I chew gum, take a shower, or eat anything citrusy, or drink seltzer water, that really helps me control the morning sickness. I always have gum in my mouth, like pretty much always, unless I'm eating something. Um, I have been able to eat the last 2 days, 3 days. I've been eating several, excuse me, several, oh, I have the hiccups, I'm sorry. Several small meals, and that's been helping. I think before I couldn't even like get anything down to even try eating a whole bunch of small meals. So I think now that I'm able to eat and keep food down, and I've only taken one pill today. I haven't, yeah, I've only taken one pill today. It's been a really good day today, so I hope this is just a glimmer of what's to come, that the morning sickness is over and I can relax and enjoy the summer with my family and go to cookouts and not be like barfing my brains out and peeing my pants in front of everyone, because that's always enjoyable. But I'm trying to think what else I can talk about. I feel like, to me, I feel like if someone that knows me saw me, that they would think, oh, she's starting to show, but that could just be wishful thinking. I am about 40 pounds heavier now than I was when I got pregnant with my oldest. So I think it's probably going to take me a while to show to where people are like, oh, you're pregnant. Even though I lost that weight, I still feel fat here and in my arms, and not necessarily in my legs, but my stomach. I feel like a fat cow. So I'm hoping that after this baby, I can get back in shape and not feel so flubbery. If you haven't followed me through this whole thing, we are moving to Alaska in August, and I hope to be vlogging that. I'll be pretty pregnant then, but what brought that up was June 27th, we find out what the baby is, and my parents are having a going away party that following weekend for us at their house, and that's when we're going to be announcing the gender. I haven't decided exactly how we're going to do it, if there's just going to be a banner when people walk in that says it's a girl or it's a boy, or we might do cake pops. My mom and I might make cake pops, and then when you bite into it, the color of the cake is the gender, which I think that's really cute. Or I thought about somehow getting fortune cookies and putting the gender in there. I don't know what we're going to do yet, but I hope I can figure something out. So if you have any ideas, go ahead and let me know. I do want to do IntelliGender. I'll probably wait until this next... I'll probably do it in 2 weeks, but it says, I think I've read the package before, and it says not to do it if you have PCOS, which I was told that I do have PCOS, and I don't know if that means if you've been told you have PCOS ever, you can't do it, or if it's gone now and you had it before, you can do it. I don't know. So I'm going to do it just to see. As far as what I think it is, I'm not sure. Because I had morning sickness with my other two, it makes me think that it's a girl, but since it hasn't been, well, since my morning sickness is worse than it was with the girls, I'm wondering if it is a boy. But since this pregnancy hasn't been like very different, I mean the morning sickness obviously is way worse, but since it hasn't been like different really than the other two, I kind of wonder if it's a girl. The only thing that is different is the morning sickness is worse, and my boobs aren't constantly sore, which I think with my oldest they were very sore in the beginning. I was very tired with Remy, my oldest, very tired all the time, 24/7. But I don't have that with Mossy, really. I mean, I was tired, but not, like, exhausted. My husband keeps referring to the baby as a she, but he's guessing a boy, and he's been right every time. Remy says it's a boy. Mossy doesn't really have a clue what's going on, so obviously she doesn't have an opinion. I would love to have a boy for my husband's sake, and I've said that I wanted a boy, and I hope it's a boy, but when it really comes down to it, 3 girls would be just as great as 2 girls and 1 boy. I would love to have another girl just as much as I would love to have a boy. As long as the baby is healthy, I don't care what it is. I'm very excited to see if it is a boy, just because it would be so different, because I'm used to having the 2 girls, and it would be exciting. But I would be just as excited for a girl. So don't get me wrong when I'm saying things on my Facebook saying, could this mean it's a boy? You have to remember, I've had 2 girls, so I'm comparing every little thing to just see if there's any difference, if there was a chance that this is a boy. And it's fun for me. I think it's fun. So the criticism I get, I just have to brush off my shoulder. I'm not saying that I would want a boy more than a girl. I'm not saying that I would want a girl more than a boy. You have to think of fun things to do when you're feeling like poop when you're pregnant. And I love just thinking about the differences between each one, and how it would be so fun to have a boy and it would be fun to have another girl. And we do have names picked out for both, which I'm not sure if we're going to tell when we find out the sex. We probably will, because I always say I'm not going to tell until we have the baby, blah 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 blah, but I always do. So don't count on us not telling until we have the baby. My husband just informed me the other day, I don't know if he was kidding or not, because he was kind of smirking when he said this, that he doesn't want to find out what this baby is, that he wants it to be a surprise. But he hasn't gone as far to say cancel the appointment to see what it is. If I had one of each, I probably wouldn't mind not finding out. But, excuse me, since we're moving and we have nothing for a boy, I'm pretty sure that I do want to find out. I could change my mind, but as of right now, we are going to find out. And like I said, we find out June 27th. So that's my update for right now. I'm sorry that I haven't been on much. I feel bad. I feel like this is my way of communicating with the other TTC and pregnant vlogs on YouTube. This is how I communicate with you guys, and I feel bad for not being around. It makes me feel like poop. But I've been watching everybody's vlogs as much as I can, with 2 little ones running around and being sick. And there's just been a lot going on personally in my life too. So it's just been really crazy, but I'm feeling good, and I'm hoping this continues. And if it does, I'm going to try and update once a week, if not twice a week. I wanted to update once a week, and then if it's a week that I have a doctor's appointment, to also update on that day. I also did get a Doppler, which my friend Mandy gave me. She's pregnant right now with her 2nd one, and she gave it to one of her friends that was in early pregnancy, but then she had her baby, so now it's been passed to me, which was totally awesome, because those things can be expensive. But my next update should be in a few days here, probably when I roll over to 12 weeks, which the Pregnology goes by your 13th week, you're in your 2nd trimester. And my doctor, I think, goes by week 14, you're in your 2nd trimester. I can't remember though. I want to say that's what she thinks, or maybe it's the doctor I had with Remy. But I'm just going to go with the Pregnology, because that's what I went by with my 1st and my 2nd. I was going to say something else, but I can't remember. This is probably going to be raw. I don't think I'm going to edit it, since it was with my webcam. I don't really see a point. But I'll link the page to the Pregnology and to my Facebook, so we can chat on there. And congratulations to everybody that's gotten a big fat positive since the last time I vlogged. Crystal, she got a positive. I think that's her name, I'm pretty sure. I'm really bad with names, so if I mess that up, I'm sorry. And I'm thinking of you that have lost this past few weeks. Definitely in my thoughts and prayers, and I hurt for you. And I hope that you can find comfort, and that when the time is right, when you feel it's right to start trying again, that you'll have sticky babies and that everything will go smoothly. Let me know if there's anything that you'd like to see in my vlogs, because I'm always up for recommendations. And I'm going to try and do a belly shot. I'm not sure how it's going to work. If not, I apologize. But yeah, I hope y'all are doing well. And did I just say y'all? Wow. And I'll talk to you guys in a few days. Bye.